Sure. So Thrive Lonsdale exists to help children in spiritual, emotional, academic, and physical poverty see their lives transformed through relationships with caring adults who are blessed with abundance in all of those areas. Our program has been around for about 20 years. I've been there about 7 years, but we've gone through a lot of changes in the time I've been there. And so one of the big changes is that we are an after-school mentoring program that's very intensive in the time required of the students for participation. The average student in our program is with us over 725 hours a year. So the results that we're seeing over time, the behavioral changes, the things that we desire to see in their academic life, etc., is a result of a tremendous investment of time that we're making, but that they're making as well by coming to our program. So Lonsdale Elementary is the first school in Knox County to be majority English second language learners, second language homes. And so there's over 40% of the kids in Lonsdale Elementary whose families are Guatemalan origin. And then over 15% of them now are from African origins, different countries, but primarily Burundi, which is right next to Rwanda. And the same conflict that caused the refugee crisis in Rwanda is what caused the crisis for Burundi. And so these kids are growing up with a lot of disadvantages academically. And so even if they know words mechanically, they don't know the word meaning. And no one's been reading to them at home because mom and dad are struggling to understand English themselves and certainly lacking literacy in that area. And so that's a very unusual barrier. It's not just the normal at-risk factors that we see that are very commonplace and I think pretty well known. Broken families, substance abuse addiction issues, physical poverty, this means we don't have a lot. It's some other areas of deficit that are really hard to address. There are kids who are supposed to do their homework and they're supposed to do their homework on a computer and their parents don't have internet at their house and don't own a computer. They do their homework with us. If they didn't do their homework with us, they wouldn't have any place they could do it. So not only are they able to access a computer, not only do they have internet, but they have people who come alongside them who help them. Our high school kids who are struggling in math and science have volunteers who are scientists at Oak Ridge National Labs who teach them and tell them what they need to know and answer their questions patiently. One of the things that we see in Knoxville is that there are concentrations of poverty. And concentrations of poverty are sometimes multi-generational. In those concentrations of poverty in those areas, one of the things that's needed is intervention that breaks that cycle. And so our program has experienced success in taking kids who not only are they in a bad place, but also everyone really around them is, and transforming their lives. And we see that not only as impacting them, but we often see it helping their family directly. And then the future, over the next 10, 20, 30 years, we see it being a massive change for their families because they're gonna grow up and they're not going to be in trouble with the law. They're gonna grow up and they're gonna have a job. They're gonna grow up and they're gonna be paying taxes. They're gonna grow up and they're gonna get married before they have kids. They're gonna grow up and they're gonna be a great mom or a great dad. And so the impact will eventually be an eternal impact. But in the here and now, we're already seeing massive changes in their behavior, in their performance at school, and in the way that they're living their lives, because they've come to a place where there's structure and there's freedom and there's joy and nurture, and so they're moving from surviving to thriving.